Guys, I hope you're doing great. Is my voice clear? Those who are already in, if my voice is clear, you can just confirm. Let me just share the link to our communities, both on Telegram and WhatsApp, and then we can start. Okay, guys, as you join, just give me a minute. I'm just sharing the link to our communities so that I can just alert the rest before we begin. Mhm. Yeah, those who are new to my YouTube channel, you can consider subscribing and maybe giving this live stream a thumbs up. Just confirm, guys, if I'm clear enough before maybe we begin. Am I audible? Okay, confirmed. So already done analysis on during the weekend because we had already done analysis during the weekend. So today we're just looking at now what we had during the weekend vis-a-vis what we are currently having right now. Okay, and we have had a few fundamentals kick in the market and try and see now what has been the kind of reaction from that time. Because you see, we have had Trump's inauguration. We expected a few things to happen, but some have not happened, some have happened, and then we've had various economic activities going on. So we're just going to do a quick recap of most of these pairs that you're seeing on my watch list because those are the pairs I mostly focus on. I don't think the watch list is not so big because some pairs are repeated. Yeah, for different liquidity providers because sometimes I'm looking at maybe three different setups, maybe on the swing, on the day, and stuff like that. So that's why maybe you will find different pairs on my chart. Okay, the same pair, but again, having last week, I told you guys that you were expecting to see some because bearish out JPY on the weekly time frame, and which of course could just be a continuation of last week's setup. Because I remember, if you guys can remember, last week we had a supply zone that is still running till late. Let me just show you. Though price has just reversed running, price has dropped so nice. We are almost hitting teching this one. You should be on break even waiting to see what happens in the market. So as this happens now on this week's high and low, right? Yeah, because sorry, let me just delete that. Yeah, because you can see this is now the previous sorry, and this is the previous week's low. So you never know. Maybe that bullish momentum is to sweep that last previous week's high, and then maybe we can have a bearish momentum. But in the event that today the daily candle closes very very strongly bullish, then we will be expecting to see price push even higher to this particular point, which gives us even a stronger liquidity pool because of the kind of rejection we had from around this point. Anytime you're seeing a rejection in the market, it just means that there are a lot of traders who have placed their limit orders around that point, and there is a rejection from that point. So that is what happens anytime you have a rejection. That is now what we understanding from this candle. Hiyo candle mnaona hapo sahi, anytime kuna such a candle inamaanisha in layman's terms strong, wakakuwa able to push price back down to this point, right? That is why now our next candle inakuwa bearish, because our sellers bado they are still in control, and you can see the kind of momentum we are having here. It shows that we are very very strongly bullish, bearish for this particular pair on this particular week. Okay, and then that is what happened with the next week. Of course, we created a very strongly bearish candle, and then now this week we are having this candle printing. So this week I'm still open to see what will happen, because today is midweek. Today is just Wednesday. You never know what happens all through to the week. We'll just be watching, trying and see if we can spot any good opportunities. But for now, that is what you should be looking at. That's what you should be expecting. Should be expecting to see either price react from where we are currently, but in the event that this candle today closes bearish, the daily candle today closes bearish below this high, it would mean that there is a lot of rejection from that point, because that is a previous week's high, and a previous week high or a previous day high. Those candles always have a lot of liquidity, a lot of rejection from that point. But in the event that it closes bullish, then you will be expecting to see then a reaction from this particular high right there. So this one now will act as our liquidity. This one, okay, our buy side liquidity. So you still have to be open and be patient. Wait and see what will happen in the markets. Okay, yeah, that's it on our JPY on the weekly time frame. On the daily time frame, that's the buy side liquidity, ultimate buy side liquidity that we might expect to see price trade above or sweep. Okay, that now what I was explaining is e candle ya sahi ya daily time frame close above previous week's high leo, then inamaanisha hakuna enough rejection from point yenye ita push prices kwenda chini. Okay, but then ikiclose above, inamaanisha our next liquidity yenye tutakuwa tuna expect ikuwe swept ni hii hapa hivi. Okay, yeah, I hope your point iko home. Nice. So that is it on our JPY. So now JPY still, we still positive about this one. So I'm at break even, just chilling, waiting to see how price it react from here. So in the event that maybe we have enough bearish momentum, alafu I don't know if you guys remember, kulikuwa na hiyo OB on the 4-hour time frame, an old OB. You see this one here, we had this OB last time, yeah, and you can see price imeingia kwa hiyo OB ndani, but then it is not strongly valid, because hii inaweza kuwa number one, unaweza chukua hii kama inducement, which is completely okay, but then again this can be a raid. Like you see this fair value gap, price ilifeel fair value gap before you push down. Okay, na kama fair value gap imekuwa filled, inamaanisha already buyers na sellers walikuwa washa find discounted prices za kuexit na kuenter the market. So anytime a fair value gap is traded, you have to be slightly skeptical, because you never know what will happen in the market. So stay vigilant and patient. Okay, yeah, you can maybe wait for a lower time frame confirmation before uingie hiyo sell ya kutoka hapo hivyo. Yeah. And then AUD is our next pair. So AUD, I think it readily activate on Monday. So imekuwa kitukoroga tu from Monday. I'm still chilling. I'm still also very positive about this. I'm just waiting. Because for me, once I have a trade, I either chill for SL or chill for TP. And nothing less, nothing more. So you see, price had moved almost half of the target that we had. This was now from our Saturday's analysis. You see, this is almost half the price, because you see this is about 68 pips, and we were targeting about 145. That's almost. Of course, some people had closed. I think I've even shared screenshots of other people who took this trade and closed it halfway at around 50 pips and something. Yeah, so I'm still waiting to either hit a sell or just chilling to see what happens with the market. But yeah, that is what we had on AUD. No changes so far. So I'm still, I've not married this bias. If anything happens, if we close above here, then it means I will switch my bias now to bullish. But then as it stands, I'm just waiting, and this still is my bias on AUD. Yeah. And then I've been trading liquidity on EURUSD, lower time frame liquidity to be specific. I've not been trading I've not taken any higher time frame setup on EURUSD so far. But basically, first, second, third, fourth, right now you can see where price is. And then I want you to notice that number one, this candle that got into our OB has closed inside the OB. Okay, so it means that the OB has reacted off the liquidity pool quite many other times. Yeah, I think I reacts from a specific zones, there are the chances of that zone failing. Okay. Yeah, you have to be very careful. The more the times price react from a specific zone, there are the chances of it failing. Are we together? Yeah. So for this specific one, you can see you just have to remain skeptical, but you can watch and see. Maybe if we print a confirmation, then you can take a sell. But basically, that is it. I'm still bearish. Okay. Yeah. The overall trend is bearish, and even from our directional bias, the directional bias we had from last week session on Saturday and Sunday, we were saying that the directional bias for this specific week would have been bullish, but then the long-term directional the long-term direction of the market is bearish. So, and you do not want to disobey the trend. So just have to be patient, wait and see. Now chill, watch what kind of reaction tutakuwa nayo from hapa hivi ndio take a trade. As we click into New York, najua kutakuwa na a lot of volume getting in the market. Then now we can decide if we are going to be changing our bias for a bullish Euro USD throughout the end of the week, or we are going to stick or to take a trade from that liquidity pool straight kwenda chini. Yeah. I know someone maybe might be asking, oh, see, I know some other people call that differently. Some people support and resistance and stuff like that, but basically it's just a liquidity pool. It's a region where there are resting orders in the market, so that's what a liquidity pool is. Yeah. So yeah, so we can chill and just look out, watch, see what reaction we will have. But then the kind of momentum you're having does not give you a good. It's not a good time to take. I had a limit order, but I deleted it temporarily to just see if we're going to close below this liquidity pool. Yeah. That is it on Euro USD. For GBP, JPY as well, we were looking at more buys. I think from it was a 4 hour demand right there. But I'm certain that people were stopped out before price started buying. And here's the thing: most of the times, why this happened is because price actually reacted from a mitigated order block. See, this is a mitigated OB, and that is where price reacted out from. The reason why this one failed is because we did not have a liquidity that was swept before expecting price ianze to move into that intended direction. Nugget, yeah, that is the reason. Unaona, lazima kukue either na a buy side ama a sell side liquidity yenye inakuwa swept ndio price iende in the intended direction, ama at least tukue na inducement. Okay, for this particular case price ilitrade from this mitigated OB hapa hivi, and from that mitigated OB, at least hiyo mitigated OB ilikuwa na this as an inducement. An inducement is just an attempt for prices to get in the demand zone, but does not actually get into a demand or a supply zone. Okay, yeah, same thing na hapa. Even this one could have just possibly been your inducement, but we just had to mark an inducement. You just have to have a liquidity to be swept. Yeah, price is a slave to liquidity. If you cannot spot a liquidity in the market, then you're the liquidity. I think that for this with before I conclude with GGJ, let's just look at the JPY basket because it actually gives you enough and stronger confidence than any other pair, than any other. Yeah. So from what we had analyzed during the weekend, we were expecting more sales from here, and you can see we've had a very nice reaction. By the way, JPY has actually played out so nice since we started doing these live sessions. I think JPY has been doing so nice with our setups. The first time we had a setup was this one. We were expecting some bullish momentum from here, and remember we had enough bullish momentum. I told you guys, of course, there's going to be a reaction of this percent of the imbalance. What happened is we got to the 50% and we dropped back. Of course, this is just another confirmation to get other buyers and sellers sellers to get out of the market and buyers. So this usually as an opportunity for the now buyers when you only miss the opportunity or get in along here. And that is exactly what happened. You can see we had some percent of the supply value gap here, which had led to this internal break of structure here. So we also expected to see price react off here, and that is exactly what happened. And then now during the weekend, we were saying we were expecting some bearish momentum. Sorry, we're expecting some bearish momentum from this particular supply, and that is exactly what we are watching out for. That is exactly what we are looking out to see happen in the market. So we might have we might have some short term buys maybe from around this point, but we just have to be patient and watch. Yeah. So anytime you see the JPY basket, of course, correlates negatively with the GPB JPY. So that is exactly what happened. So we're expecting a short term sell on the JPY basket. It means we also must be looking out to see some short-term buys on GJ. Of course, now then we can be looking now for for some sales maybe before maybe the long-term trend, the bullish long-term trend continues. But basically, that is what you can expect on GJ. Maybe you'll just be vigilant and watch how prices react off that fair value gap, because that is the closest point. Maybe you can see an order block or a region where we can have some substantial market reaction off from. Yeah. So you can just chill, watch out for this, maybe look for orders around this fair value gap. Yeah, if you're new to my trading channel, make sure you subscribe. I would really appreciate so that you get a notification anytime I come live. You can as well consider giving this live stream a thumbs up or just a like. Yeah, that is it on GPB, JPY. So then GPB USD. So for GU as well, I'm still watching. I think last time we were talking, we were expecting reactions of that particular zone, which was a daily fair value gap. I think it was a fair value gap on the daily time frame. Yeah. For those who are wondering why we were saying last time, we had a live stream on Saturday and Sunday. So you can just watch. They are all uploaded on this particular channel. Yeah, so on the daily time frame, you see we had this fair value gap here, and that had led to a breakout structure there. So I'm still chilling, waiting to see some reaction of this particular supply. So most intendedly, we might be looking at prices getting there before we drop. Yeah, and with the kind of strength we have on the dollar, most probably we might have some more bullish momentum. Because before I also conclude on this, let's just look at the DXY. Yeah, it's so important, by the way, to correlate the dollar index with GPB USD and Euro USD, but do not correlate the DXY with gold. By the way, they don't correlate so nice with uh, with the DXY. Gold does not correlate so nice with the DXY. You're looking at a bearish DXY. I think this was the last pair I looked at on Saturday. I'm not sure, but I think that was the last pair we looked at on Saturday. So here you remember this was our previous week's high, and you see we had swept that previous week's high so nicely. After the sweep of that previous week's high, the next thing we were looking out to see, or anytime we sweep a high, we are also looking out to see that we take out a low as well. And you see that was so nice. Yeah. So this candle we were so we were so quite sure, not so sure. We were quite sure that it was going to be a bearish candle, and that is exactly what has happened. Now, basically, for those who always ask, this is now what CRT is. CRT is basically candle range theory. You're looking at maybe a buy side liquidity getting taken out and then a sell side liquidity getting taken out. Yeah. Alafu what else? Yeah, so that is basically it, because I think nimekuwa na wase wengi sana wananiulizanga CRT ni nini, CRT ni nini. Let me just show you. Basically, for instance, that is it. So for instance, that is how you're having your candle. So from this candle, you do not trade. You're looking out to see a confirmation on the next candle to show you. So the next candle should either sweep a high or a low. For this one, we can't trade because it didn't sweep this low, and it didn't sweep, and this is not a liquidity sweep as well. The candle closed above, right? Because that's the difference between a breakout structure and a liquidity sweep. Yeah. Okay, sorry, we're not looking at that. Yeah, we're just there. So you see what happens for this candle. You look, you check, we have swept the high of that candle, and then check the behavior of the candle. We have closed below it, right? So that means that's a liquidity sweep, because that is the actual definition of a liquidity sweep: a sweep of a high or a low, and the candle does not close above the high or the low respectively. Yeah, for this case, We have swept the high and closed below. So it means the next thing we are going to do is to look for a low that will be swept, because most of the time when, yeah, and that is exactly what you are looking for this week. We are seeing that we must have to check out this low, and definitely this some nice momentum, and that is it. We have taken out the low of that candle, and we will be watching. But and also the kind of momentum you're having is so strong, we can have a continuation of the bearish market, but then we also have a fair value gap right here as a support to push prices back up. That now will now coincide with the analysis we are having currently on GPB USD for this buy, for that sell. Sorry, yeah, because we're looking at a short term buy on DXY could coincide so nice with this short term sell on GPB USD. Okay, yeah, I hope I'm not talking a lot of things. I hope you guys are getting. Yeah, so the next pair will definitely be USD JPY and liquidity provider. Yeah, for for USD JPY, first thing is, you remember we were violated last week for this analysis. We had a daily time we had a 4 hour, no, 1 hour demand that we had marked here. We were looking out to see prices react off from that, but then you remember the kind of data we had for CPI nullified our analysis, and we not take that trade from there. So what we're expecting, or what I'm looking out for currently, is to see prices push even lower to this particular fair value gap that is resting there, and then now maybe I can take my buys from around this point. So this also coincides so nice with what we have seen on the DXY, because we are looking at a DXY, of which the DXY and the USD JPY have a positive correlation. So we are looking at the DXY pushing higher, prices pushing higher. Same thing with this one. We are looking at a short-term sell to this particular 4 hour fair value gap, which will now act as our support to push prices higher, to maybe take out this liquidity that is resting here. You can see there is a lot of liquidity that is resting around here. So that is exactly what you're going to be looking out for. And yeah, I don't know if anyone has any questions on USD JPY, but basically I'm just chilling, waiting to see prices react from here, and then we can push higher. Yeah. So our next pair will definitely be USD CHF. So USD CHF has been my best pair so far this week. It reacted very nice with what we had on Saturday, and has rewarded us so nice. That's about 6%. Yeah, even if you had one or two stop losses of 1% each, and you made 6% from USD CHF, that is still a 4%, a very nice 4%. So on the daily time frame, you remember, same thing that I've just been explaining to you. Let me just use a different liquidity provider so that we don't. Just the same thing we had on what I've explained to you. I think was on which pair, the CRT stuff. Yeah. So you see here as well, we were having, just cut it here. Yeah, here as well, you see what we are having. We saw price sweep the high of this candle, and after that sweep, you see we had the candle closing below the liquidity, which means that there is a you're having right here might push lower, right? Yeah, so internally now you'll be looking for a bearish USD CHF, and that is what happened now. For the next day, we had a bearish CHF, right? And then now I think by the time we were doing our analysis, we had spotted this fair value gap on the daily time frame, and that is what we were expecting to see price react off from. And you see, price has been pushing even lower. Just yeah, we have had a very nice reaction of that particular fair value gap, and we're just be chilling, watching. Yeah, staying patient. But we've had a very nice trade on USDCHF actually for the last 2 weeks sale. So USDCHF, fantastic for the week. Yeah. And then for NZD USD, we've been sexually violated, but after a long wait, because we activated this trade actually last week on Tuesday. That's when we had that trade. I think it was on the 4 hour time frame. Sorry, I think it was on the 4 hour time frame. You were looking at first supply was here, which was an inducement, that failed, and then now we took our orders from this supply, and you see price actually pushed about 72 pips. And then by the last time we were coming here to do this analysis, I told you guys to close this particular trade because I was almost certain it was going to fail, because this reaction, you see, these buys were a reaction from the CPI. Yeah, most intendedly, after this bearish momentum, price reacted off this fair value gap right here, and then we started pushing higher. I was so skeptical. I made zero losses and zero profits. Yeah, sometimes you just have to accept. Break even is very, very important, by the way. Yeah. So card JPY. Yeah, by the way, guys, if you're new here, just have said, make sure to hit the subscribe button so that you have a notification anytime we come live. And also maybe give this live a thumbs up or a like. So the weekly time frame on card JPY, I told you, of course, we had this week being a bearish week, and then this current week also, we might now be looking out to take out the previous week's high. The reason is, looking at the current price action we are currently having. Check how we've swept the previous day low, and you can see we have a lot of bullish momentum. So the next thing I'm looking at out for is to see that we sweep out now the previous week's high, because after we've swept the previous week's low and we're having such kind of momentum, and you can see we are strongly bullish for this particular pair, most certainly we might be looking out to see price push higher to take out this previous week's high. Yeah, so we'll see this one. I think the next time maybe I come live, maybe on Friday or on Saturday, we'll see where card JPY would have gotten us to. But for now, it is just a strong card JPY. You just watch and see prices for card JPY push higher and higher. Yeah. CHF JPY. So for CHF JPY on the daily time frame, remember we had a very nice. We were having that as our supply. That was the last bullish candlestick right there before this bearish momentum started, and you see it had led to a break of structure right here. So we were expecting price to trade off there to, yeah. But of course, we were just targeting this particular low for this setup, because it's just a setup within the setup, because we already had the whole setup. Yeah, it was just another setup. We're just adding more money. Yeah, we were just adding to a winning position, but we're still holding this one and see if we're going to take out this low. Of course, I'm still positive because of the kind of momentum we're currently having. You can see it's so nice. We're having expansion, a correction, expansion, a correction, and expansion. This is a correction, most certainly. Then now price will keep pushing lower and lower for CHF JPY. Yeah. The JPY basket, of course, I've talked about that. For USD CHF, of course, I've talked about that just up there. The next now will be the Euro JPY. For the Euro JPY, I think as well, I told you guys this pair has not been so nice to me most recently. But you see, even what we were expecting on Euro JPY, we were stopped out for what we're expecting during the week, and price has been pushing higher. I'm not sure now what this pair would be looking at. I'm not sure. Yeah, but anytime a pair fucks me up, I just quit it because there are very many other pairs. So Euro JPY out of the watch list officially. Yeah. For Euro USD, I've told you I've just basically been trading session liquidities, just chilling, trading session liquidities, just trying to watch what happens during specific sessions. And basically, that is what I'm looking out to be trading for Euro USD specifically. Yeah, for gold, I'm avoiding gold at all costs. Yeah, for USD card, I've just added this pair to my watch list recently, so still checking it out. I was backtesting it in the morning, so I don't know anything yet about USD card. Not a very good person to explain to you that. Yeah, so basically, those are the pairs that are on my watch list in case or unless anyone has a question. Yeah, unless anyone has a question, I think I don't have anything else to add. Yeah, if you're new to